Okay, you're good.
Good afternoon, and we're back on this blessed day to slide back into the horrors that Dwelling has for our intrepid adventurers. Last time we left off, what do you guys want to be going by right now as your group? You've spitballed a couple of names these days.
I mean, I think we're stuck with it.
Stuck with it, yeah. The Handsome Four have managed to find their way into Bilchester, a town that had given off some unease to Herondadrol. Their most recent, I wouldn't call him an ally, but the most recent acquaintance. There was something going on in Bilchester that let off a foul stench, so to speak. And so you went with the invitation of a mysterious lord into Bilchester and found yourself at the dining room table of one Lord Einval, the local owner of the granary and a coach business. There, you managed to find out that he was inviting you to his house because he thought that you were representatives from the local Wooland Raiders and were associated with Herondadroth, and was basically saying, hey, what do I gotta do around here to get all of the raiding and stuff to stop? Why is the music so high? There we go.
I can't hear the music on my end.
It just like spiked on my end, so I had to drop it down.
I was trying to turn it up for myself because I don't hear it.
Oh, maybe Sarah turned it up for everyone.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how that happened. Anyways, she's in the jukebox. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess we can all screw with it. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I can't hear it. So.
Anyways, so you guys found out that he's basically saying, hey, I would like the raiding and stuff to not affect my people, and I would like the werewolf to stop attacking my people. What do we gotta do to get that going? And you guys said, hey, we're friends with Rongrolf, and we think something's foul is going on here. Hey, you don't have a shadow. What's up with that? And you got really hostile to him and to his maid, Jacqueline. And so he basically said, you guys better calm down and get out of my house. So with that, you guys left the premises, except Bull, who, with a full belly, decided to bed down for the night at the manor of Einval Abesht. As you went off into the night, you were a bit suspicious of the gnolls that were within the employ of Einval. He mentioned that he has employed the gnolls because after being attacked and being horrifically changed from their original forms, that they were not met with open arms from their previous circles. So he has given them a place to live and be accepted. Some of them gave you a bit of an uneasy feeling, as you had a previous bad dealing with them with Herondadrol. As you walk through the town towards the waiting mouse bed down for the night, you found all sorts of yellow eyes peeking around corners and from the shadows and from windows, bearing down on you and on the backs of your neck as you made your way into the inn. Opening the doors to the inn, you find yourself in a dimly lit foyer. There is a orcish gentleman who seems to be sitting in a rocking chair. He's got a small woodworking craft in his hands that he is making himself busy with. And as you guys enter into the space, he looks up and goes to set it aside. Clearly, he is someone who stays up throughout the night to see if there's any new guests, etc. So he kind of waves over at you guys and starts his way towards you. Is there anything you guys would like to do at this point?
Wave hello. I just said wave hello.
Walking
What you
in,
sign up for?
you see a series of round tables. Two that seat up to 4 people, another one that sits up to 6. There are some couches next to a hearth. Appears to be some sort of door, probably to another cook room or something like that, and a staircase leading up to the 2nd floor. There is also a small podium next to the door that the gentleman in simple cotton clothes makes his way up to. As he gets there, he opens up a book that's on the table, and he looks at you guys and goes, he points into the book, and he turns it around, and there's a picture of a bed. He gestures at it.
Yes, we. Sorry.
He looks at you and goes, indicating that it's 5 silver for each of you. Just to spend the night.
Anything to eat?
He goes,
Or wait, no, we already ate. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry, I forgot there was a whole meal. Yeah. I ate.
He goes, so you asked to eat, and he goes, okay. He goes, one moment, and so he pockets the silver. Do you guys pay for your rooms as well? Okay, so he gathers up the silver, and he shows you upstairs first, walking up to the stairs. He actually goes to the first door on his left. There's only 2 doors. The other side of the... Oh, we lost Dusty.
You just said spotty internet.
Hey. The first door he opens up, and there are 3 single beds. But he goes, pleadingly, he gestures. He goes, he does the follow me gesture, and he walks down. There's one more door with a master bed in it as well. He goes, kind of trying to indicate that you guys can sleep wherever.
We all pile into the master bed together.
Only doable since Bull's not here.
Yeah. Yeah, we can take the 3 singles.
Alright. So then he...
I don't want to speak for you, Ilya, but...
He lowers down to your face, Wretch, and he, he gestures back downstairs, and he starts walking back down. Okay, what about like your plate mail and stuff? Okay. Yeah. So he follows. You follow him to that back room that I mentioned before, and there's a small kitchen in here, as well as a little basement trap as well. And he goes over, and first there's a keg that he opens the tap and fills you up a mug of what appears to be just some sort of very, very light watered ale, and sets it onto the kitchen counter there for you. And he goes over and starts pulling down an onion from a dry rack and a couple other items, and starts dicing them up, and basically provides you with a small charcuterie board. And as he sets it down, he kind of goes like this and goes, and gestures towards the pot that's sitting in the cook place. He probably is more prepared to cook big breakfasts for guests rather than dinners. All right, so you go exclusively for the onions that are on the diced onions that are on the board. But there's like olives and stuff like that go well, and a paste too. No. Yeah, he walks out quickly and appears to sit back into his old chair that he quickly begins to pick up his whittling project and go back to work.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, give me a medicine check. I mean, he must be dealing with something. He's clearly mute, right? So there's something going on there, but aside from that, there's no apparent injuries. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, you sit down, you have your food, and so for the benefits of a long rest, you will get I suppose everyone who has eaten today will get the benefit of 2 healing from that. But yeah.
My thing will be a little, like, a quick little thing, but I assume there's, like, a window in our room.
Yeah, so you cross the main courtyard in order to get to this room. There are 2 windows on the nearby the headboard, and the hall that you guys walked past has windows towards the courtyard.
Okay, when I look out the window of our room, like, I'm kind of looking to see if there's anybody who could be watching us, or, like, how approachable are, like, if somebody could just walk up to the window, or, like,
Yeah, so go ahead, give me a perception check.
Okay. So I'm just a little on edge now.
Oh, sorry.
3 success, 1 advantage.
Okay. Looking out the window, it appears that this is one of those olden style buildings where the top floors are bigger than the bottom floors to make it easier for rain to not hit anything, and also keeps like the wooden structure away from rot and the base being stone. So there's not a lot of like easy, like you look out the window and it's straight down, and you can't even see the bottom of the building because it's recessed. but it does have joinery that goes up to support the top second floor at an angle, right? So if someone was a climber or something, they could scurry up that.
Okay.
As you look out, you see that you're looking out. This is very much so like the backyard, so to speak. You can see that there's a few crops, small crops, maybe for some like a local garden behind here, a tool shed, etc. You think you catch movement on the nearby roof? I can, yes.
Yeah. I'd want to watch for that then. Okay.
It unnerves you to see. It looks like something's scuttling along the top of the roof. You take one strain as you look at. Is that a cat or a coon? Something about that size, but the way it moves, it's more spider.
Okay. I'm gonna just Ilya. I think you have better sight than me. Do you see that? What is that? And
You can go ahead and give me a perception check. The difficulty will be increased.
I don't know if Ilya's or Dustin's still having internet issues. But...
Dustin!
How about we pan back to...
Yeah, anyways. While this is happening, Wretch. It's fair. You've roamed like you speak common. You've roamed the old world for a long time, and it's pretty ubiquitous. But we'll say that you've clearly run into people who struggle with common. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, give me a presence check. Sorry, charm. Okay. Spending the triumph on an extra success, so for 2 success, you can get the crude simile of a conversation going with this orc. He looks at you for a moment and kind of waves you off. Give me a interpretation check. Oh, all of your when you sleep tonight, all of your horseshoes will refresh. But at the start of this session, all of your story points will refresh. Okay. You think there for a moment there is a flash of panic to his face, to his very tired eyes. You did get some threat, but I will rule that later. Okay. Meanwhile, upstairs, Ilya, you've been beckoned to the window to take a look at something by Emery. Give me a perception check.
It was some sort of figure, or something like a cat, or I don't know, like a big spider or something. Do you see it?
Okay. As you look out the window, and you're able to catch something as it scurries over the precipice or the crooks of the top of the roof and down the backside. And just as it gets to the top, you can see what looks to be... It looks a lot like a face hugger from the Aliens franchise.
I mean, unless you're into that. It is not. Okay. That's a good question. Is
Do a
that
knowledge dark
something?
check.
Oh my god. 1 success and 6 advantage. 5 advantage, sorry.
Well, I rolled a despair, so
Okay.
we'll push those against each other. This thing sounds like, unfortunately, so many other things that it's like, something creepy, man.
I don't know, sorry. Maybe if I saw it myself, I'd have a better idea, but I don't know. Yeah. And you know what? If you want to ask him, that's fine. I've got the heebie-jeebies. I'm gonna make a little sentry for us tonight. I'm gonna just in case. And I'm gonna make like one of my little figures. And so.
What
Yeah.
what are you making?
I want to make a little like rat to sit by the window.
Yeah,
Like on the windowsill.
absolutely.
And do you not want it to be like a little rat? Huh? I've done birds a lot. I was just trying to make something else small, okay? Don't need to be offensive.
I like. There's been
Yeah,
no
and
birds
this thing is
since.
gonna help us out. It's funny.
Oh.
The little witchcraft check.
Yep. So you have some average.
3 and 3 is what I rolled.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You can even rock up restraint.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna set this little mousey. Gonna name him. Ilya, what was that? Mickey. Okay. Sure. This is Mick. Okay. This little buddy is Mick. Okay, Mickey. You're just gonna sit here on this windowsill, and you're gonna squeak real loud if you see anything coming through. Okay? You're gonna squeak real loud.
If you see anything coming through,
Coming up to our window. Okay. Did you guys hear his little noise that time?
hey!
Oh, wow!
This mic is working better than the other one. Good.
Yay! Alright. Great. It happens all the time.
You can even smell it. That's how good the mic is.
Alright.
So at this point, where are you, Ilya, and where are you, Reg?
Where's Bull?
Yeah, so you guys bump into each other at the top of the stairs if you guys wanted to say anything to each other. Otherwise, you can
Find the innkeeper down in his chair. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know how Rondrelf has been interacting with these people, but he said he was healing too. So I don't want us to... I'm just saying, maybe we'll jump to conclusions, okay? But just in case, this is Nick. And I just show my little rat tooth. He's gonna help out. He squeaks. Nice. No?
What is everyone else doing?
I'm gonna...
Oh, I assumed you were already asleep. Let's circle back to you then, sir. You are in a wooden room of humble make that has 4 beds pushed together, of all like the single-sized beds. There are cupboards and shelves lining the far wall that has windows. Aside from the door that you walked in, there's one more door leading out of the space. Yeah, fairly nondescript. Looks like maybe a servant's quarters. Yep. Yeah. Peeking through the other door, you find a very, very dark space because it's not lit. There's no exterior windows in this space, but you can easily tell that it's pretty small, and it appears to have more doors. So some sort of hallway that has no exterior facing windows. We'll say that the door that you came in from, the main quarters, opens toward you, and the other one opens away from you. Oh, for the door that opens toward you? Door that opens away from you, there's no way to getting furniture. Like, the door will open away from the furniture then.
He wants it to fall.
Oh, yeah. There's some small, like nightstands and stuff like that you could push one up and just, like, tip it towards it, yeah. Sure. Yeah. With your feet touching that door? Are you sleeping on... Yeah, are you sleeping on the floor then? Okay. Alright. Because your shift was a significant portion of time, I'll just scoot back to what Ilya and Wretch were doing just in case something calamitous happens. Sorry, thank you.
Man. Yeah, that sucks, buddy. Yeah.
Okay. As you come down the stairs, the floor creaks and stuff like that, and you see he kind of, like, rubs his eyes a little bit and kind of shakes himself awake. Coming down the stairs, give me a perception check. It's really dimly lit, and so it's kind of hard to tell. This is just the one light source, and it's kind of away from you. But as he goes to stand up and you get closer, you can see that he has a shadow. He looks at you for a moment. Give me either a negotiation check or a leadership check. Okay. He looks at you, and you see, like, he kind of just gestures real quick. And he walks over to his parchment book. And he picks up his little piece of, little feather with ink, and he dips it in. And he slowly, with a shaky hand, starts to draw on a blank page. And he draws... It should pop up slowly.
Right. Uh-huh. This is getting graphic. I like the suspense that's built in with each. Is this therapy?
And then he looks at you. And there's a bead of sweat that dribbles down his cheek, and you notice that it touches what was hard to tell until you're up this close. What is a swollen jaw. Sorry if he cut out. Maybe it was his internet.
You need to get up for me.
Oh, Zach. Whoa. Okay. You presented your sword. Give me a negotiation or leadership check. He looking, like, as you gesture towards the sword, you kind of like pull the scabbard up. And you're like, this will solve these problems, right? And as you do, he kind of stumbles back a moment, and you see him like clutch towards his throat, and he like drops down to his knees as you do that. Right now, you hear him. And he's got his hand up as he's on his hands and knees, going. Yeah, give me a quick perception check. Or investigation. Four or five advantage. With your uncanceled advantage, you hear like cough. He seems to have stabilized, but you don't know what kind of asthmatic sort of response that necessarily was. Right now he's on the ground, having had a choking, wheezing attack, sweat pouring off of his face. So he kind of... It takes a few minutes to recover and crawls himself back towards his chair. As he gets back, he kind of glances over at you, and with a pained expression to his face, he looks around, and he walks over to a chest, and he opens it up, and he hands you a blanket and a pillow, and gestures back up to the rooms pleadingly.
Please go away, he says.
You guys bed down for the night. Who's taking first watch?
So my little thingy can be active for like an hour.
Yep.
But do I have to be cognizant, awake during that time or not? Because that matters for me.
I'm gonna say that you're gonna need to give me when you go to sleep. You're gonna have to give me a hard difficulty check to see if you can maintain it in your sleep, and you can continue because it's only good for an hour. If you want to increase the duration, it's just 2 strain per hour.
Okay.
And you can choose to take that strain before and or after you wake up.
I'm gonna take the first watch with my thing there.
Okay.
And then I'll have one of the other two.
Okay.
I need extra help spotting something.
Yeah. So you guys bed down for the night. I need a perception check from Bolt. And then I'll have all 3 of you guys give me perception checks as well for your shifts. In your shift, you hear footsteps in the house, but never more than one at a time, and nothing crazy. It's like someone walking through the house, just creaking boards. That's it. And then you drift off to sleep. Yep.
I got a 1 and 2 for
Okay.
my check.
Nothing weird happens during your shift.
Okay, I would have kept my rat awake during my shift, but then when I went to sleep, I would have woke somebody else up and let it go.
Okay. Wretch, go ahead and roll your perception check. Again. Calm night. As you check through the window, you can see yellow eyes here and there. Not so much as before, but something's still out there, and you can feel it. Nice. What about you, Ilya? What are you doing for your shift? Okay. Give me a perception check. Thank you. That was the same. What's your sword set to today? Lightning? Okay.
It's his favorite.
The illumination of the sword makes it kind of hard to see through the window that night, but with the approaching dawn, it seems whatever presence is out there dissipates. The one thing that you do catch, a carriage approaches the, you'd see a figure walking to the inn, and you'd hear a door open and close down below. Near the end of your shift. And with that, Bull, a door bashes against your feet. And you hear a clattering of glass as water rushes underneath the door. And you hear, "Oh, goodness me!" Yes, it is mine. Oh, it happens to me all the time. I'm so sorry. Watch your step. There's glass. And Jacqueline is attempting to clean up a pitcher of water. Okay. Very well put. And she's trying to put the glass into the bowl. She was bringing you a wash basin with a small towel and a pitcher of water. And she does her best to clean it up. I'll get you another one in just a moment. Breakfast will be served soon. And she hurries off. With that, yep. And as you do, there's a fire in the hearth already going. Just at the start. The guard from earlier appears to be setting it and getting it going. with that, everyone else wakes up at the tavern to appears to be a beautiful morning. Oh, I would have to take a look at my calendar. But one thing to know about this world is that winter is like a hurricane. It comes and goes. It's not like a set time of the year. Yep. A couple hours ago, you probably would have been able to see your breath, but not anymore. It's probably like 48. Okay. What does Ilya and the trifecta have to do?
Yeah, absolutely. We should go grab him. That's a great idea. So one thing, quick. I mean, we obviously weren't so worried about Bull or the sky that we left him there, but what do we think he is? I mean, all we know is he has no shadow and he's giving us the heebie-jeebies, right? Arendrop wanted us to investigate this, right? This... He...
So he mentioned that Cinder that he felt that Cinder was compelling him to rid this area of a great darkness. And that
But they...
Now, the
No.
Baron asked that you guys stop the raiders and the werewolf.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Or he just needs some therapy, but I mean, it sounds like he doesn't want that either. Let's see. What if we got up on the roof and tried to see if we could see where those things were coming from? But let's get Bull first. Never mind. He could boost you. He can boost everybody. Fine, he can boost me. Hi guys. Right. We're around. Yeah, pretty much. He turned me into a newt! Son of a- Uh-huh. That's very true. Alright. Let's go get Bull.
As you guys enter the main foyer of the inn, the innkeeper waves you down, and he has a letter. Who grabs it? Ilya. Inside is a letter that says, in nice scrolled handwriting, simply, "Breakfast is ready. Hyphen, Einval." By the way, all of you recover all of your strain from having slept tonight, and you all get a boost die to your next day. Having comfy
Neato.
beds. No. Oh yeah, he slept on the floor. It's true, which is why he recovered 2 health. And even more health than that. Okay, you guys head. No problem. You guys head back to Lord Einball's house, with which you are greeted by Sigourney Weaver, the Rattan, who opens up the front door and gestures towards you guys. Welcome back.
Thank you.
He's in the dining room. Pleasure to have you. At this point, Einball has come downstairs full and is speaking to you. I hope your stay in those rooms were comfortable. I know it is a bit of a last moment thing with the beds. Well, to each their own. I know this old body and these fat ribs of mine would not be able to handle anything but a feather mattress. And hopefully I can get fatter today, Jacqueline. Oh, you don't need that much. Yes. Surely. I honestly should probably be taking more walks, but when you owned a carriage business, you tend to use it as much as you can. What do we have it? Oh, just hot oats. We got dried fruit and granola. Some other stuff. Got rummaging around, cooking. Maybe a little something special for you. So, you've treated me ever since I was a child. Lord, you have guests! Waverman! And with that, you guys enter into the house and sit down for breakfast. There is watered wine and a hash as well. We can hear you just fine, Dustin. Sorry, I wasn't sure if Dustin could hear us, so... Anyways. Sorry. Oh. Oh. Where were we? To the east from here, there's a small area, not as big as Bilchester. Farmstead. A little bigger than Farmstead. Small village, maybe one would say. Known as Brunyov's Knoll. They'd be kind of in that direction. But, as far as other information, I know they've taken horses over the many Twillets that they've been raiding. They travel quickly. Their patterns are erratic. And there's at least 30 strong. You guys came from the southeast. More south than east. Oh!
Yeah, he just said he dropped again.
Actually, from my understanding, it might be more just due south at this point.
Hey, buddy.
Let's see here. So, should have done it. Let's go.
Huh.
No. So, where is? Oh, that's what I'm trying to do. That should be where. Up in there. Brunioff's Knoll is over by Limor. That's east. Yeah.
The raiders are
Well,
between here.
Yeah.
I don't have the map. Like, for some reason, I'm not on the same.
oh, weird. Pulled everyone into there. Oh, because it's not showing you as on at all. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, goofy.
Yeah, I wasn't having the volume, but yeah. It's
Ha!
okay, 1 second.
Yeah, you're in Josh S.
Okay.
Funny. Good catch.
Thank you.
Anyways. All that's been said so far is Bull asked for any information about the Raiders, and Einval said that they are kind of hitting things erratically. They got their hands on horses. They're 30 strong. They were last seen near Brunioff's Knoll.
That seems awfully close to Limor, I agree. That's strange, isn't it? You said these are Woolend?
Yes. They are Woolland. They have horns. Fierce. Dressed in, no offense, but dressed in primal garb. Hides. Whatnot.
That's too far to be affected by the forest. That's strange. At least as far as we've known so far. Sure. And so where the orange dot is that where Perondadrol
Yes.
was? But and tell me if we didn't figure this, or if we don't know this knowledge, don't you know what I mean? But he seemed to me like he was operating alone. Did we hear anything differently than that? Yeah, no, I thought that was in Deadfall, I think, right?
Correct. Headed this way.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, what you guys do know based off of Bull's previous information, one is that they're probably the Blades of Azralam, which also means that they're probably rivals individually, which means that each one would get its own turn on initiative.
Yeah. Yeah, that's insane. I mean, not by ourselves. No, I don't mean to impose at all, Einvoll, but are there any capable fighting men within Milchester? I know it's mostly farm.
The sickness has caused great damage to our population, but being a sizable city and having much to protect, we could call upon Lemore and see if any of the corporations have folks for us to be able to take under wing and guard this facility, and guard this town.
We could.
I am sure the harvesters will have at least a squad that they could send out here, especially if you can maybe lure the raiding party to us. It's not what I would prefer, but it's much easier for the harvesters to lend aid if... I'm sure that many other towns, small villages, are asking for aid. And with their raiding strategies, it's hard for Lemore to really commit.
It's tough times.
At this point, the hash is served along with the hot oats and the fruit and honey to put in it.
I want to test the taste of the oats, like, again, because last time I had something, it tasted off to me.
Yeah, you can give me knowledge, people, or a medicine check.
Let me just double check what I got for medicine. Okay, I'll do a knowledge, people. For success, 1 advantage.
There's a taste to it that you recall from the sourdough. Maybe even a bit of a texture. You know when you get bread that's got like cheese chunks melted into it, sort of thing?
Mm.
It's kind of like that in the sense that it's an off texture, except it's a bit more chewy.
Mm.
And it's something that you notice in both the hot oats as well as when you're poking around the hash. There appears to be some sort of like spam-like meat in there.
Oh yeah, then I won't touch that myself, and I'll be pretty like I'll just kind of poke at it and eat just and once I realize that it's off again, I kind of am put off.
You guys did not eat breakfast before you left. Lord.
He takes in a deep breath.
Don't suppose you are interested in hunting down the werewolf? So there will be no more attacks. He was going into the woods until you guys got back and finished what he started, essentially. Well, that is a big relief. You have my thanks. I would say, at this point, that is the second largest pressing matter on my plate. The raiders being primarily my point of consternation. Anything else I would prefer not to get involved. Since, unless you guys are master horticulturalists and have other alchemical tricks up your sleeve to help with blighted goods and what have you, I think your proclivities indicate a particular set of tasks to put on your plate. Though I've been wrong, judging by what I've ironically put on your plate before you now.
What are you gonna say?
Kind of nods a little bit. Speaking of which, no.
One.
Yeah, if you're willing to give any martial training to the folks of the town, I'm sure you'll have volunteers.
You had mentioned alchemical training potentially, and I've dabbled just a bit. I've had some back and forth with some of the experts at what's the one in Lemoore that I was like taking the ingredients and stuff to
A and B Corp.
A&B?
No, not A and B Corp. Ammo.
And I think like my friend Wretch here has a lot of knowledge as well about restoring things to like their pristine quality. Him and I could take a look at your goods and see if there is anything to do, or potentially, help if there's a way to remedy whatever it is that's fouling up your crops from R&D 6. We actually helped with a lot of restoration efforts from that within Lemoore themselves.
Well, if you're looking to be put to use around town, we can certainly do that. What about you? Do you have any opinions? He gestures towards you, Wretch.
Wretch is not currently here, right? Okay. Good.
Give me a negotiation or yeah, give me a negotiation check. Yeah, I'll give you a boost die for that. You have been a good guest, but it's more like everyone else. Yeah, it's like everyone else gets nerfs, not that you necessarily get boosts. Okay. Um. He kind of sits there, and you see he's kind of chewing on it. I will tell you a tale. And mayhaps we go on a tour. On one condition. You are going to hear of things that I'm not proud of. There was a group of aristocrats. My father belonged to them. They served their fiefdoms and their people and their towns well. But they also enjoyed pleasantries, or enjoyed their status. I among them. Any of you have an opportunity to travel to Holdenford? Have any of you had an opportunity to travel to Holdenford?
I think I did.
You did. Holdenford. Yeah. It's just north of the Crystal Tarn.
I actually did pass through there on my way from the Gnarlwood.
I think I might actually have... Okay. If you've been there, then you know there are things that go bump in the night. There are cultures that are varied. And some things that you would consider unconceivable are commonplace in other lands. He kind of twiddles his thumbs for a moment. There was one family of quite renown in this area that had taken some aesthetic inspirations and some recreational passions from constituents in Holdenford. And the likes of which tantalized the Limeran nobility out here. As you can see, there's not a lot going on to entertain us. And so, we dabbled in what others have mastered, all in pursuit of bettering ourselves. And yes, in some instances, in pursuit of more carnal pursuits. The Reeve estate is not far from here. It is a place that I consider a den to some thing as we set loose. It was a mistake made from a genuine attempt to create self-rejuvenating food. I believe it sundered our shadows from our bodies. Jacqueline and I escaped, but we never met up with our ragtag group of elites, social elites would call a coven. Jokingly, of course. It's really more of a inspiration, a side pursuit. I never went back to the Reeve estate. For what is there is not something to be tread upon.
He takes his little tucked-in fabric napkin out and kind of brushes himself off and throws it on the table.
You asked about my curse of this chateau business. Me and Jacqueline are forced to suffer what is undescribable from what happened that day. I do not know what has become of the Reeve estate. I do not know if what has happened to me, what has happened to my caretaker, is reversible in any way, shape. If you want to stick your toes in the matters of my town, please go. investigate the Reeve estate. I worry there's no way of tethering me back to my shadow, but of their paltry schemes and manuals, maybe there's something in there that can speak of reuniting me with my shadow. But if this gets out, Bilchester will burn me and Jacqueline alive.
If you don't mind me... If you just don't mind me asking, when was this?
Many turns ago. And I'll put it down for the record. I do mind you asking. You ask and you ask and you stick your nose in business. And I make one rule. One rule. No more questions. You ask about what's blighting my town. I give you answers. You ask about my plight with my shadow. I give you answers. I brought you to my home. Into my home. Multiple times. And now I divulge information to you freely that could put my life at risk. That could put Jacqueline's life at risk.
I'm sorry.
If you wish to help, then help. But if you wish to judge me from the life I've lived, and the things I've tried to do here in town, with the cards I've been dealt, then go back to your woods. I'll deal with the raiders myself, if need be. Give me a leadership roll. You kind of fumble with your words a little bit, and he picks up the space there, and like a little embarrassed, you kind of start to shut up as he speaks up and goes, "Well, you're folks of action. I will take you to the Reeve estate. Do what you will inside. If you happen to make it safe, maybe we investigate further on how to solve my plight." That is it. It seems to you guys that he is cutting off this conversation at this point. You guys can either leave in good company, or you guys can either harass him more, at which point things will become much more uncomfortable.
We have to go on, I think.
Sounds good.
All right. Sigolin, please prepare the carriage. Yes, master. And Sigolin leaves to get a carriage ready for you guys. That is something that is readied up in a mere hour, as you guys can go ahead and prepare to head to the Reeve estate.
Yeah. I'll come along with,
All right.
with you.
So Ilya finds a bench to relax by the river, and
Sigolene is getting the carriage ready. Yeah. Sigolene is the rat driver. Jacqueline is the maid. Luca is available. Okay. Luca, Einvald tells Luca to take you guys around town, and as he does, let's see here. He goes, all right, and he goes up and down the cobbled streets. That over there is our carpenter, Felix Del Sartes. Keeps moving along. We got a smith, Elvira Lavache. Fixes a lot of the axles, makes horseshoes, helps with a lot of the structures around town with the carpenter. The biggest feature in town, down this way, we've got Godot, handles the chandler. Most of the candles all go to Lemoore, but a lot more actually end up in Holdenford, distributed throughout both baronies. And he gives you a tour. There's he mentions the inn that you guys already slept at. He shows you guys where the coaches are, and there's a lot of coaches in there. He's probably got 10 in. He mentions that there's 10 others that are already on routes. With various gnolls that are trained as teamsters recently. He takes you guys up towards the windmill, which is the flour mill of the town. You can see a small settlement just outside of it. That is where the gnolls live. And he points off down a side road that continues along the riverbed towards where a papyrus mill is, that you can see just a ways away on the hillside, but not really within walking distance for the time that you guys have. There's a stable he mentions, ran by a gentleman named Fergus, and so on and so forth. He just kind of gives you a tour of the town. Give me an interpretation, or actually give me a streetwise check. Looking around, you get some mixed signals, enough that it's hard for you to make heads or tails. Okay. There's also a granary attached to the windmill, but it's pretty much all the same thing.
Is it possible? Sorry.
Yeah, there's people moving around.
Is it possible? I had mentioned that we might be able to help with helping with the potential food spoilage and things like that. I was just curious if I could take a look at the grain, or it's grain, right?
Yeah. He kind of looks at you, folds his arms, takes a moment. Yeah, here. I'm gonna go get a bucket. And he leads you to a swine pen. And he gets to the swine pen and grabs up a bucket and goes over towards the feed. And he opens up a side, like, sliding door where some of the feed is stored, and he kind of shovels up some of it and comes back, and there's a dried up water trough for horses in town, in an area that really there's just not any horses right now, in front of the inn. And he dumps the feed into the trough and goes, "There you have it. We're trying to make use of it to feed the livestock, but this is some of the most foul of it." And you can see what is grain that is not doing well. Clearly, it's got a stench to it. It's discolored, and it's got there's a bit of a slime to patches in it.
Okay. I do a close inspection of it to see.
Yeah. To what degree are you hoping to here? You got some do you have an alchemist kit?
I don't think so. Let me double check. I have some. I do have rare alchemical ingredients. I'm just making sure I have a survivor's kit. I could have sworn I did have an alchemy set. Let me just double check. I don't have an alchemical kit actually.
Okay. So give me an alchemy check to take a look at it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see. Okay. Three success, 2 advantage.
Okay. You have to pick it up, and because you don't have an alchemy kit, you have to be very tactile with how
I
you're
know.
investigating, right? And so you're picking up some of it, you're sniffing some of it, right?
I stuck my tongue to one. It's fine. Yeah.
Some of it tastes like you can tell that there's a smoky bitterness to some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Other portions of it you can actually see like red tinges here. Signs of some of the traditional corruption of the heavy metals and the smog and the toxic shit that you found in the slums and then the sewers of town. It appears that a lot of that wash out into the fields has contaminated some of the food and could be making people sick from the heavy elements.
Mm-hmm.
There's an oily sheen to parts of the goop that's mixed in with some of it, but that's more or less 20% of it. It's not like it's just all goop or anything like that. This is what they found to still be good enough to risk the wellness of their animals, but that they wouldn't eat themselves.
Okay. So I tasted some of his food before. Is it a similar
Give me a
taste?
perception check. Give me a boost die as well.
1 success, 5 advantage.
It tastes awful.
Yeah,
Whereas the other stuff tastes like food. Maybe a little weird, but food.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, does this shit taste like what would have come out the other end had I eaten an apple earlier today?
Sure.
It's god awful. So I don't know. Maybe it's so far removed from the end product of what you found earlier.
Sure. Interesting.
You do have 4 uncancelled advantage.
Would I know by... Let me know if I can use my advantage for this or not. Whether it would be safe for them to feed this stuff to their animals.
It occurs to you to check out the pigs. And
Okay.
I'll give you a boost die on the medicine check if you want to go and look at the pigs.
Sure. Two success and 6 advantage. I'm all about advantage.
Wow, yeah. The livestock seems like, for the most part, like, you checked, like, you just took an eye into the area or whatever. Like, this is someone else's property. It's not this dude's. And you're able to tell pretty quickly. They've probably been feeding this stuff to them for a bit now, and the livestock seem to be at a decent health.
Sure.
And you can tell from the pig slop, the cleaning pens and stuff like that, that it's not like there's blood in the stool or anything like that. But
Sure.
preliminary, yes, but it's probably not the best for them, you know?
Sure. Interesting. Thank you. This is helpful.
Kind of find Wretch and just talk to him about it, because he's good at this sort of stuff too. So.
Okay. Where's Bull right now? Okay. Luca goes, stay within eyesight. Stay within eyesight. And he walks over to see what Ilya's doing, kind of at a distance still. So you guys... Just don't pull it from its scabbard. He's keeping his distance from you. You guys can the three of you can speak in private effectively because of the distance that he is, if you guys wanted to. But you guys have one quick round of conversation or whatever before the hour's roughly up.
That would be good. Have you guys noticed if anyone looks particularly sick? Yes.
Andrew shit the bed on his roll in comparison to what I rolled, so...
Sure. Yeah.
You rolled pretty good for 2 green die. It was 2 success, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I just... Unfortunately, I rolled 4 failure on your... So... Alright. There's... At this point, Sigolene has made ready the carriage. In fact, he goes... Luca! So he goes... Luca! You're, expected to coach, Einval and Jacqueline. He goes, fine. And, that's fine. Of course, that's what you guys find is best, but as long as we stay on schedule, the Lord's expectation that we go to the Reeve Estates and back. I'm sure he won't mind a quick pull-over. Although, depends on what you're looking for, because the Reeves themselves haven't called tithes from or taxes on any of their serfs in many, many turns. Most folks have taken it upon themselves to basically use their crops that they have grown for the Reeve estate as they see fit. our soil, it certainly has made it to Bilchester. Whose soil are you in particular? Because the Reeves have not been tending their estate. Yes, the Bilchester grain, of course. You've seen some of that on the way here. I'll take you out and show you a field that has been cleaned as much as possible, but there's still residue left in the field. So, of course.
And with that, you guys saddle up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys are probably an hour into your trip before Sigolene pulls over, so to speak, and knocks on the door and shows you guys out. There's a field that has been harvested, but you see that the harvest was patchy. There's whole sections that were swamped, and so everything was just left in place because it couldn't be picked. And other areas where it was a little bit higher up, he goes, take a look. Mind your, this is ankle-breaking territory here, but I suppose you don't have to worry about boots sucking in the mud.
It's fair.
Anything you guys are looking for in particular?
Sorry, I was hearing somebody else. Like Will had mentioned about the soil, I do want to look and see that, or see if there, as well as the, if anything is still there and growing, how that's looking, you know?
Yeah. Give me a knowledge nature check and a knowledge streetwise check. Sorry, a knowledge people. Sorry, this would be a knowledge nature check and an alchemy check.
All right, 3 and 1 on a knowledge nature, and then you said an alchemy.
Yes.
Same, 3 and 1. That was weird.
Yeah, I got the same roll too. Anyways, so looking at the soil, you're able to tell that there is a discoloration to it. It's an inconsistent, where in certain areas it's a bit like a greener color, almost like a forest green tinge to the black. Other areas it's got more of a reddish tinge to it. Some of the areas that are still very moist are got almost like an oily sheen to them, and the crops that are still here, they did not fare well with this. Certain areas, the roots just went in the soil. Shoveling through the muck a little bit, you can see that while the saturation goes pretty deep, the contamination is topsoil level only. Maybe in a turn, the soil will have recovered, but it definitely did get out into the fields in a pretty substantial way.
Sure.
High ground is fine, but everywhere that's close to the rivers, which unfortunately Bilchester was built on a river, they have a pretty substantial effect on their soil.
It would probably help to get rid of the topsoil in the areas that are worse off like this, or replant to higher ground. And I'm just telling that to the knoll guy that's there.
I mean, sure, but I'm sorry, I'm not a farmer. That information is valuable to
What's that?
The farmers.
Right. Gosh, where's that? The farms. Bushman.
that information is useful to Bushman Farms, where they can choose to not grow certain years and grow in other years, and turns, and relocate their supplies, etc. But
Well, I mean, just
to the Gwizzels who live at the farmstead, just at the top of that hill over there, so just at the bottom of that hill over there, the land they have is the land they have.
Sure, I mean, I guess what I'm suggesting in areas like that is just to, take off the top few inches of soil. Try to help get rid of some of the contamination, which, I can relay back to at least Einwald, if not the farmers. But
If it pleases you, ma'am.
okay. Alright, that's all I wanted.
Okay.
Sorry. Did anybody else?
Go ahead and give me a channeling check. Or you can give me a channeling check to try, or you can just give me a channeling check with no strain to consider it, right? So it's more of the knowledge check, so to speak. Okay, give me that. Okay. Yeah, so that would be probably a little bit more into the druidic practices. While you could probably take a piece of corn that's not doing well and make it better, a plant to plant basis, changing the chemical makeup of soil is outside of your wheelhouse entirely.
I'll just stomp, he said.
I mean, if you want to rub the contaminated mud all over you, I can give you a resilience check to see what happens.
Got some Chernobyl effects here.
Guys, carry on in the horse-drawn carts, and about a half day goes by before you guys make it to a riverside estate that has a crop of trees around it, and it's actually on the far side of the river. There is a bridge to the estate with a small gatehouse. There's a fence blocking off sight from what's inside the estate. It is a modest wooden fence with it's one of those ones where it's stone up to your waist and then wood for maybe 5 more feet or so, going around. Maybe 8 more feet. and the small gatehouse, the carriages pull up and stop on that outside perimeter on the far side of the river. And no, I can put you guys here. No. I don't have the carriages and stuff, but I just threw Einval and Jacqueline on the map, and I showing you guys where, roughly speaking, the 4 of them and the 2 carts are, as you guys exit the carriages and stand on the other side of the river. He said that something awful makes its den here, and he dared not tread the place again.
I am here just in case there's any chance that you can grant me and Jacqueline our shadows back. Maybe we could be of assistance, having dabbled in the slight occult. Maybe there's something in there that we could use, but we will stay with the cards. You let us know when it is safe. Very well.
And he kind of looks over and he kind of goes,
Luca, you can keep an eye on me. Jacqueline, Sigolene, you can stay with the carts and the horses, please. Yes, my lord.
and they're gonna trail behind you guys just a little bit.
I'm gonna stick back with them, and I'm gonna just be more asking them questions as we're going. If we are kind of doing this in like a turnish order, I just...
Yeah, 1 second. Is there anything that you guys would like to mention to... So is there anything that you'd like to ask him? Otherwise, you guys can start... Like, the map right now is just for, like, a little bit of a reference, right? We're still not in too much turn sensitivity here.
Look.
Yeah, so you're looking at across the bridge is a small gatehouse. And then there is a fence that goes around. From here, you can actually see... let me see here quick. There is... you can see that there is a large building inside the estate. Kind of central. But also, to the kind of the north side, there is a small building roof that you can see. And also, just on the river, like, right here... I don't know if I can... Can't see. Oh, that's why I'm in the wrong layer. Over here, wait a second.
I'm probably zoomed in too far if you're trying
to the south of the gatehouse is another kind of roof that you can see with the chimney, just over the wall as well. Give me a perception check. From this distance, not really. Yeah. There's a bit of a breeze. There's just a bit of a breeze, it's just, there's not really too much to make out. Guardhouse is 2 stories with a squat roof to it. And there is a window on the like where you guys can kind of see in. Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, there's a sill to the window, and then the building's footwork goes straight into the water. Like it's got like 2 concrete pier type things holding it up from there.
Look, so I know you said and I'll ask you any more questions, but we're here, and I think it would be best if we could arm ourselves up with a little bit more knowledge. Well, how do I ask this without asking the question? Oh no! Shit! I asked a question! Can I ask you a question? Oh no!
Sigoli kind of... Sorry, Jack kind of pats your head. Don't let Einval's prickliness get to you, love. We just... Be polite.
Sure. So, I, myself, have dabbled with a bit of a coven as well. And I was just curious, you were saying something about this is a coven, but, there's a lot of different types of magic, I guess, and it would well help us if you could perhaps divulge, if you're comfortable, what type of magics you were dabbling in?
Oh. I mean, I've never really engaged in any of that. I was, a maid to Einval's father and the Einval.
And she kind of looks over at him.
It's embarrassing to say, but there was not enough talent, not enough resources to specify. We just were curious minds, playing at things that we really had no business in. As I said before, we had looked into minor boons from entities. I believe you call it channeling. Like your friend over there. But just hoped to get some recognition from something beyond ourselves. Something magical.
Sure. And when this was done, was it, like a sort of ritual? Were you trying to, throw things on the ground?
There was a ritual being done. It required the use of an artifact. In the books, stipulated one might say like a phylactery, a container devoted to both style and substance. So we crafted simple silver cooker that we could regale with engravings and sculptures to entice the artists to bequeath upon us their boon of a bounty unending.
Okay. You said a
His
cooker?
vision goes glassy. Yeah, a cooker. Like a slow cooker.
Yeah.
Probably like if you picture like those silver, like a turkey roaster type thing or whatever, like people do for catering.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
We had in the basement we had a ritual circle. And that is where we dabbled in our fancies. but it was in the dining room that everything became Motleti incarnate.
Thank you. Alright. Sorry, I've taken up a lot of it.
Meanwhile, it's a double door of heavy wood, reinforced. Yeah, it's a push. It probably has, and when you go to push on it, and there's probably a heavy, actually, you go to push, and as you do,
It's a pull.
it gives a little bit, and it gets, kind of caught a little bit. With your brawn, it just pushes the rest of the way. There is detritus on the other side of the door. It appears to be like an old worn boot that got stuck underneath of it, sort of thing. But the bar that was places into the slots into the door is haphazardly to the side. And it's just like all of the weather and stuff like that has made it really hard to move, but not much of an obstacle for you. But there is resistance. Opening up the door is a vaulted space. It appears to be like there's a small table for guards, and there's an area for like a little like cloaks and stuff like that, torches. But there's enough space in here that you could probably park a carriage quick, and then open up the other doors and move it through, so to speak. But it's a double door, and from on this side, you can easily open up the secondary door on the opposite direction. In fact, actually, no, that door would be wide open, leading into the courtyard. There's also a ladder to the secondary floor. Yeah, there's a rack of spears and some standard iron. There's 2 iron swords and a rack of spears. Heading up, I'm not going to put you onto the other map because of the layered maps. It's just not something I want to screw with right just yet. But on the top of the ladder is a hatch to the roof of the guard house, which is flat with crenellations. Okay. Hopping up there, you can see the main... you can see most of the complex, right? And looking to your left, looking to your right, the buildings seem intact. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. Doors are left ajar. To the map's south area, it appears to be that around the bend there is some sort of like pen area where you would keep livestock. And you can see that with the chimney where it is and stuff like that, there's probably some sort of smithy or, worker's house sort of thing to that south side. And sorry, straight ahead is the main manor, which is very obvious. Two T-shaped two stories. There's a well to the south as well as an outhouse to the north. And you mentioned about asking about the pens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move you to here, because this is kind of where you can see from, if you know what I mean. Like, because you're on top of that house next to you, and I don't want to like show too much because you can't necessarily see around the buildings too well. But that's kind of what your view is. You can kind of see into some pens to the south. But yeah. Okay. You now have a spear. You can find spears on the gear thing if you're interested in what those stats look like. But okay. Yeah, you can drop down easily enough. Einval and Luca move up into the gatehouse. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to stick closer to Einval and Jacqueline myself.
At this point, it's overcast, but it's still light out, probably midday. There's a bit of a wind, but it's not something that would like... It would billow your cloak a little bit here and there. That's about it. It picks up in the noise of the space. Okay. So you have a horn, and not like Ilya's horn, which is a magical artifact. Yeah. Okay. So you go. Okay. As you blow on the horn, there's a pause before you hear movement. Here's movement. You hear coming from north of the map, and bursting out of the door north of you is a being made almost entirely of bone, with sinew lashing it together. It whips its head around back and forth, with multiple sockets of eyes set into shoulders. Sorry, no eyes inside of them, but the sockets looking and moving over towards you as its spindly, bony limbs flap out into almost like a fan of defensive positions, getting ready to charge down into your bearing. Okay, we will be doing initiative, and if that's what you like to do with your first action, that is fine. But since you blew the horn to initiate what's going on, that we'll just let initiation resolve it. Meanwhile, as that is happening, you also, Ilya, you hear as the window explodes over here. And as the window explodes, you hear as something then kicks open this door, moving out from the manor itself. A creature of corpusculent design and dripping and oozing with viscera and bile as it stumbles forward through the building, crashing its way through.
Empty, huh?
Okay. And so with that, we are going to roll initiative. This would be by default cool, unless anyone's got some fruity shit up their sleeve. Advance 1 second. Add turn.
So I can use an appropriate knowledge skill. Is knowledge dark the most appropriate?
Knowledge dark would be the most appropriate. Sorry, did someone already start saying their stuff? Yeah, all day.
Oh, thank you.
Double triumph, huh? You so had that spear ready. 2.3. Okay. Whoa, shit! What the? Hold on, I gotta redo this. They added all of the turns immediately from earlier. There, advance. Add turn. Thank you. 2.3. Okay. There is one on the heavy spear, which I can have pull up in just a second, but okay. Next person.
4.2.
4.2.
Damn.
6.1. Nice.
You're so cool.
Oh yeah, he always gets to replace that. While he's looking that up, I'm going to pull these dudes' stats up. Melee heavy does not. It'll be a ranged attack, but then you'll add your brawn to the results. So the bone. Yeah. Ooh. Gorgon. Yeah, pluck and boost die. Okay. I gotta roll for. Okay. And then just do. Oh, one other thing I have. Oh, damn. Okay. That is. Okay, I'll just have to remember that for now. All right. Top of the round is. I don't have bowling.
Yeah.
20? 20?
There.
Put in a lot of things there. All right. Over to you, dude. Due to the range, I believe it's an easy check. Guys, this is the first time you guys done a ranged check this entire campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how they...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or improvised weapon, or, like, yeah, like...
Okay, and then this thing is... I believe an adversary. Yes, okay. 2 threat. Okay. The spear whoosh, into its chest, getting into some of the ribs, and you see it look down and just goes scything it in half and leaving the chunk still in there. Oh, actually, I need you all to give me a fear check. So this would be a discipline. Yep.
Everybody?
Yep. And then just to make sure here. It's just, yeah, he's the worst one. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. Next.
4 and 2.
You fail, actually.
What?
I rolled 4 and 2. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll roll that. I'm lower then. Alright. Okay, so only Emery is afraid, and she's afraid of the bone horror.
Of course.
She's afraid of the. She's afraid of the thing on the top.
The bone thing.
Yeah.
That was such a nice way to spin it. Thank you.
Nice. Okay. So that was Bull's turn. You threw that spear. Is there anything else that you'd like to do? Okay. At that point, you guys hear a lumbering from the south side of the building. You can almost feel it as you hear timbers snapping. Second. Turn. A little bit, yes, but it depends here. So as you guys hear that, you see a snapping. So you hear a snapping, and Ilya, you see just enough of this thing tipping around the side of the building. As this massive monstrosity smashes its way through the where you assumed the livestock was kept, lumbering around the side of the building, still quite a ways away. Is there something you'd like to say quickly? Okay. As you nope. It is the Bone Horror's turn as it moves to engage Bull. Actually, it'll move there. Bull, can you give me a melee defense check? I mean, it is completely made of bones and sinew. You could probably lead that way. 2 failure, 3 threat. Okay. You have one threat to be able to spend, but this thing hits you for 8 pierce 1 and a crit. What do you have any crit, like what's the crit bonus on you right now? Okay, so it balances out with the other thing, Bob. Okay, so you take a crit of 3. Oh wait, no. Yes, that's it. Yep, crit of 3. So it's just a crit that's there. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then it is registered. Okay. You should have it check. 2 and 2. Nice.
Beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, I'll allow it. Okay. Oh, it doesn't have. What's this? 2 failure. Okay. A triumph in what? So it's bigger than you, so the crit costs are doubled essentially from whatever it is. Right, but I'll allow you to go because it was originally 2. I'll allow you to go down to 1 for Wraithbane and then double back to 2. Got it. Yep. Yes. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first crit is 13. The second crit is 20. So that is going to be 3, I believe, off of its one of the thresholds here. Crit injury table. All off of its wounds. Yeah, three. Essentially, made it suffer 3 wounds off the top. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So like it's got like leftover chunks of bone that sprayed into the courtyard there, and it had to like flop some of the ribs down and use it as a stubby leg. Nice. Emery.
Okay, somebody already told these guys to barricade themselves in, right?
Yep.
Okay. Shit. I like stumble to like I kind of drop my bag by my feet and start trying to cast a ritual summon again. Not you know what I mean. I'm trying to do my prepare to and concentrate for my summon.
Alrighty.
So I'll do both of my actions to do that.
Okay. And then
Do I cast the spell now or?
So it's an action and 2 maneuvers. So
Yeah.
a total of 3 things
Okay.
to get there. So if you want to spend 2 strain to do an extra maneuver this turn, you can get it out this turn.
Okay.
But
I will.
You will? Okay. So it's 4 total strain.
Yep. I have a spell to cancel some of that out. Okay, and then these.
What's the difficulty of the check?
1 second. I got 5 success and 2 advantage, and the difficulty of the check is easy, reduced one. The easy,
Okay, just easy.
yeah.
1 threat.
And I didn't have a story point, so I didn't use a triumph, so I couldn't do my have it be malice.
Okay.
So yeah, it's I succeeded. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna have it be a large porcupine again.
Alright, porcupine.
And put it between me and the spiky, please.
Alright, you should have control now.
Yep, okay. Does it get a turn?
Yes it does.
Okay, it's gonna rush up and it's gonna claw.
Nice.
And just so you guys know, this guy has a hazard terrain ability, which says when adjacent to an enemy, all attacks against that enemy from allies gain bleed too easy. And spiky defense, so melee attacks are bad against it. I don't. I'm just saying it. It's a good question. Astute point. Okay. Sorry. So yeah, he's gonna ram into this guy, which is brawl fights. Yellow and green.
Oh, I gotta switch this music. This is bullshit.
2 success, 4 advantage.
1 and 1.
Okay. So 1 and 3. I don't know what 2 bleed easy means, though.
2 bleed easy means they would suffer 2 bleed every round, and it's an easy medicine check for them to use a maneuver to get rid of it. But
Okay.
it costs double on an extra large entity to do with advantage.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to bleed it, I guess. We'll see if it works, but, and 4 damage.
Sorry, I rolled 1 and 1, so how
Yeah.
much advantage do you have?
I had 4.
You have 4 uncancelled?
4 uncancelled.
Yeah, so you bleed it.
Yeah. I just didn't know if it could bleed.
Oh, gotcha. So let's put a little participle on it. And then how much damage?
4.
Any pierce?
No.
Okay. So it rams into there, and a couple of quills stick up into it, and as he like pulls back, it pulls out, and it starts leaking out of those holes.
Cool.
And then after you, we go to Ilya. You can move through allied squares as long as you don't end a maneuver in them. Oh boy. I rolled 1 threat. Not yet. Yep. So you cleave into this thing, and as you do, you hear the lightning almost make the fire almost make like a combustive, like oxidation, like crack as ribs go flying on fire out of it. But it stays standing. It was an incredible hit, but it wasn't enough to put it down. And then, is that you? Well, you'd have to... Sorry, I rolled 1 threat. How much advantage did you have? So you'd have 3 uncancelled, so you would need at least 4 to do it, so your damage would be reduced by 1, effectively. Utility means you reduce your damage to increase your advantage to be able to proc. Yep. So burn 4. Burn 3. Okay. Yes. Okay. Start of its turn, you just have to remind me of those little identifiers on it. Okay. Nice. So yeah, it is now on fire and bleeding. Which makes it like really menacing looking as it like looks over at you and stumbles forth. To which point Luca runs over and bars this door. For obvious reason. Hello! And then on his turn, he hides. This guy is gonna stumble forward, and as he shambles forward... actually, before that happens, as you smashed into this bone horror so hard, you see part of it, like, and a whole chunk of it, actually get lobbed off. Which spawns... Let's go. Maybe get end of the round. So, you... 0. Why isn't that working? There we go. Okay. You lob off a chunk of it, and as it lands into the ground, it starts, like, wiggling, and you see that the bones on it split apart to form teeth, and it wiggles and shambles into this ball of, like, bone and teeth and mouths. As the other hulking form shambles up to you guys and goes... and vomits on Bull, Wretch, the Porcupine, and Ilya. So I need you guys to give me a ranged defense check. Let's see here. Where is that?
Just so you know, I have an adjacent Wait, so the... Oh, I'm not adjacent to that guy. Dang it!
1 second, I gotta find my... Let me check here. Okay, 1 and 1 for Bull. Okay. Wretch. Okay.
0 and 3.
0 and 3 for the Porcupine. And then Ilya. Okay, so you managed to, like, between the monster and your allies, you managed to dodge all of the bile, but the rest of you are going to take burn 2, as you are covered in stomach acid, and then the base damage is essentially it is 8 pierce 1 before you take the failure off. So for the 3 of you, I think only then that Bull would have a reduction of any of the damage. So.
Alright, well.
This is, yeah.
Sorry, so what is it?
It's well, he rolled 0, so it's 8 pierce 1.
8 pierce 1.
Okay. And then with that, we go to the blood sprite as it. Here we go. Okay. Okay. It's going to boing, boing, boing up to Bull
Ugh.
and bite Bull. Yes. Oh shit! Okay. I didn't. I had 1 success, so 1 success to advantage. So it needs 3 damage to turn into. Okay, so it has 6. So it only does 3 damage. Pierce 4. But you are ensnared by it as it just clamps down on your calf. And I'm gonna put a little marker on you. Okay. That is that. So top of the round, we will end there. As you are grappled by this little gluttony sprite, and there's acid pouring down on everyone, and you guys are beating on this bone construct. All right, you guys have made it into the Reeve estate to help Einball fix his shadowy problem. We'll see how this comes about next.